Welcome to Twin Whistles. I'm your host, Joe Chap, and today we are going to be talking about the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Detroit Lions Week 1. Football is finally here, and if you're a fan of football, this is the greatest time of the year. The Detroit Lions will face the Philadelphia Eagles, like I said, and this is our game preview we'll be doing every Thursday before every game. We'll give you little tidbits and everything on the game that we're going towards. Obviously, this week it's Eagles versus Lions, and if you were following last year with the Detroit Lions, they got swamped by the Eagles 44-6. But if you look in recent memory, the Detroit Lions have won 4 out of the last 5 games. That is pretty critical. But the Eagles lead the all-time series by 1 game, and they've had 2 ties. So hopefully no ties on Sunday, but it's usually been an even series, as you can see through the all-time series. It's very, very critical what we see on Sunday from both teams because you want to start off on the right foot. Shane Steichen, who is the Eagles offensive coordinator, said he's going to be aware of Hutch at all times. He said he's explosive, he's long and powerful in describing Hutchinson, and he's been keeping his eye on him all preseason. And usually if you hear that a coach has been keeping his eye on a player in preseason, it usually is a rookie because there's not much tape on that rookie. So the respect that he got from the offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles is pretty remarkable. Going on to Jalen Hurts, he has road woes. His road numbers drop. His QB rating drops 3 points, and he has 10 interceptions in the last 15 games on the road. And despite winning on the road last year in Detroit, Hurts only threw for 104 yards, no touchdowns, and no picks. But the issue with Detroit and Philadelphia last year was the Philadelphia Eagles dominated the Detroit Lions on the ground, and they basically pounded them into oblivion. As we go into the next slide, we have the key matchups and keys of the game. You've seen it in the last one. Last year, Jalen Hurts got off easy. He didn't really need to do anything. He was given carte blanche. He was able to hand it off all the time, and they were able to coast to a 44-6 victory. That shouldn't happen this year. That should not happen this year at all. And if you're a Detroit Lions fan, you want to start off on the right foot. And if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, you want to start off on the right foot as well. We look at the key players for the Philadelphia Eagles. You got Devonta Smith, Dallas Goddard, and A.J. Brown. You look at A.J. Brown. You look at Devonta Smith. Those are guys that can fly down the field. The one thing you worry about as a Lions fan is you worry about your corners matching up with A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. Dallas Goddard is a guy that you got to watch out for because he can move the chains because he can usually get behind the linebackers and get open. That's usually his name of the game, and that's what Dallas Goddard does best. Devonta Smith last year, his 2021 campaign, 64 receptions, 916 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He was a pretty good rookie. He looked exceptional at sometimes, and obviously if you follow football, fantasy football, Devonta Smith has went early in a lot of fantasy football drafts, and he's going to be a guy who's going to be counted on by Jalen Hurts. Because Devonta Smith is in his second year. He's going in his second year, and he has a lot to prove. Again, Dallas Goddard last year, 56 receptions, 830 yards, 4 touchdowns. Like I said, the MO on Dallas Goddard is easy. The guy likes to get behind the linebackers. He likes to move the chains. He's a good to move the chains kind of guy. You see tight ends sometimes they can either get a lot of run after the catch or they just get yards. And what Dallas Goddard does best is he is a reliable target for Jalen Hurts when he's scrambling around back there, and that's the guy he usually looks to. And the next one is A.J. Brown, who they just traded for from Tennessee. They traded him in the draft. Tennessee traded him in the draft to the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Eagles get the prize guy, A.J. Brown. Now, A.J. Brown hasn't stayed healthy, but 63 receptions, 869 yards, and 4 touchdowns last year. He missed a lot of time, just to keep that in mind. And that's something that you have to remember when you see these stats. He is a very, very, very big threat for the Detroit Lions. The keys on the Eagles offense: keep Hurts in the pocket, keep the run game in check, nothing over the top. Like I said, you want to keep Hurts in the pocket. You don't want to allow him to scramble around because that's usually when he finds Dallas Goddard or Devonta Smith in the slot. He'll find Devonta Smith. You got to keep that run game in check. Last year, you got beat on the ground, and you need to keep that run game in check. Miles Sanders will be playing. And don't give up anything over the top because these two wide receivers can stretch you vertically. We go to the defensive side of the ball. Players to watch. We know who Darius Slay is. Avonte Maddox is a Detroit kid, and Fletcher Cox is a main name in football. Fletcher Cox will help with stopping the run. Him and Frank Ragnow are going to have a couple battles on the interior of the line. But Darius Slay and Devonta Maddox. Devonta Maddox usually lines up in the slot. He's going to be a guy who probably will be guarding St. Brown. And Darius Slay, he's just a good corner. And they got James Bradbury on the other side and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. The keys on the Eagles defense, get the run game going, get them with short intermediate routes, get Swift in space. The one thing I could say is get Swift in space. If you get Swift in space, he could really, really turn this game around. And if you're the Detroit Lions, that would be the biggest thing that you could do to win Sunday's game is get Swift in space. Hit them with short intermediate routes because sometimes they cannot contain those guys. They don't give up anything over the top. So you're going to have to just get them in with the short intermediate routes, which is good for Goff. And you're going to get the run game going. I mean, obviously with Fletcher Cox in the middle, it's not going to be easy, but you're going to have to do that in order to kind of go on. This has been the Detroit Lions pregame on Thursday. We do this every Thursday. We will see you in the next pregame situation.